Jimin shoves Jungkook, but his shocking words to the camera ignite a storm fans can't ignore. Drama, betrayal, and secrets unfold. "Do you think I'm blind to everything you've done?" Jimin snapped, stepping closer. "You have no idea what you're accusing me of." Jungkook shot back, his voice sharp, brimming with a mix of anger and disbelief. "I watched it all, Jungkook, every single choice you made behind our backs." Jimin's words sliced through the tension like a blade. "You don't get to dictate what's right for me, Jimin. Not anymore." Jungkook's hands clenched, his thoughts racing. He knew the moment had shifted. This wasn't just a private argument anymore. Someone was recording. A pause. Then Jungkook leaned toward the camera. His words deliberate, controlled, yet incendiary. "You all think you know me, but you have no clue. Everything you're seeing is just the surface. I've been protecting someone you'll never understand." The statement caused an immediate ripple. Fans watching online erupted in chaos, typing and tweeting in disbelief. Jimin froze, uncertainty flickering through his fury. But his pride wouldn't let him step back. "Protecting who? Or protecting what, Jungkook?" "You wouldn't believe it if I told you," Jungkook replied evenly. "And if I did, it would destroy more than just me." The atmosphere between them thickened. It was a collision of secrets and loyalty, of truth and perception. Jimin's jaw tightened, wrestling with a truth he hadn't expected. "You're hiding something bigger than either of us." Jungkook's eyes narrowed, determination edged with desperation. "I've carried this alone for too long, Jimin. You wouldn't survive knowing everything." "Try me," Jimin challenged, his tone dangerously low. "I've survived worse than your lies." And for a moment, the world outside that room didn't exist. There were only accusations, confessions, and the unbearable weight of unspoken truths. "You think the fans will forgive me?" Jungkook whispered, almost to himself, yet loud enough for Jimin to hear. "You think they'll understand why it had to be this way?" Jimin's laughter was bitter, sharp, almost disbelieving. "I don't care about the fans. I care about you not falling apart while lying to everyone else." Jungkook shook his head, the tension inside him coiling tighter. "I can't stop this. Not anymore. It's already out there." He glanced toward the camera again, the intensity of his gaze speaking volumes. "And what I say next, it'll change everything. You'll all remember this moment, I promise." Jimin took a deep breath, trying to regain control of the chaos spiraling between them. "Then tell me now. Stop running, Jungkook." "I can't. Not fully," Jungkook admitted, voice trembling but unyielding. "But I can tell enough to make you understand. Enough to make you realize that sometimes protecting someone means becoming the villain in the world's eyes." Jimin's eyes darkened with realization, the room electric with unspoken understanding. "You mean you've been sacrificing yourself all this time?" "Yes," Jungkook whispered, almost pleading. "And no one will ever forgive me. Not truly. But I can't regret it, because if I had, they'd be gone already." Jimin's anger faltered, replaced with a mix of admiration, fear, and disbelief. "You didn't just push me away tonight. You've been carrying this weight silently for years." "I didn't have a choice," Jungkook confessed. "And now that it's coming to light, we'll see who stays and who falls. Everything is about to be exposed, and the world won't be ready." For a long moment, silence reigned. Then Jimin leaned back, letting the realization settle. "I hate that I respect you for this." Jungkook allowed a small, bitter smile. "And I hate that I needed you to understand." Outside, fans were still erupting, sharing clips, speculating, and arguing. The clash between the two idols wasn't just a fight, it was a revelation, a confession, a storm that no one could escape. The room was quiet for a moment, but the tension remained, unbroken, electric, and undeniable. Both of them knew that nothing would ever be the same. The first strike had landed, and the repercussions would ripple endlessly. "Did you really think keeping this from me would work forever?" Jimin's voice was low, every word loaded with betrayal and incredulity. Jungkook's stare didn't waver. "I never wanted you to know this way. But circumstances, they have a way of forcing truth out." Jimin took a step closer, his tone cutting sharper. "Forced truth? Is that what you call watching people trust you while you're hiding pieces of their lives? Do you even realize what you've done?" "I've done what I had to," Jungkook replied, his voice steady but his chest heaving. "Do you think I wanted any of this? Every single choice I made, Every lie I told, it wasn't to hurt anyone, it was to protect. Protect? Jimin's laugh was bitter, unrestrained. Protect who, Jungkook? Yourself? Or someone else? Because right now, all I see is destruction. Everything around us is unraveling, and you... He hesitated, anger giving way to disbelief. You stood in the middle of it all, pretending nothing was wrong. You think I didn't feel it? Jungkook's voice cracked just slightly, betraying the strain he carried. Every day, I wondered if I could survive the fallout, if anyone would survive it with me. Do you know what it's like to have everyone counting on you and knowing that if you slip, everything collapses? Jimin's eyes narrowed, a mixture of fury and anguish threatening to consume him. Then why hide it from me? Why not let me stand with you? We could have faced it together. I couldn't risk it, Jungkook said quietly. Not you, not the others. If they knew everything, they'd fall apart faster than I could hold it together. A tense silence followed, thick with unspoken truths. Then Jimin's voice cut through again, sharper than before. You're telling me you've been carrying the weight of this secret all alone, while letting everyone else live a lie? Yes, Jungkook admitted, his gaze dropping for a moment before returning. I've sacrificed myself so they wouldn't have to. And now it's out. And nothing will ever be the same. Jimin ran a hand through his hair, struggling between anger and a reluctant understanding. You've always been the one holding everything together, haven't you? Even when it meant tearing yourself apart. I didn't choose it, Jungkook murmured, his voice raw with honesty. It was the only way to keep them safe. Every lie, every cover-up it was, for them. And for you too, even if you hate me right now. Hate you, Jimin echoed, his voice softening slightly, though the tension remained. I'm not sure I even know what to feel anymore. Part of me wants to scream at you, and part of me wants to thank you for doing what you thought was right. But the rest just hurts, Jungkook. It hurts so much. I know, Jungkook whispered, voice barely audible. I feel it too. Every day, every night. And now that it's coming out, I have no idea if I'm going to survive the backlash, or if anyone will forgive me, even you. Forgive you? Jimin's laughter was sharp, bitter, almost broken. You've put everyone in danger, Jungkook. Don't tell me forgiveness is even a word that makes sense here. I don't expect it, Jungkook replied calmly. I never have, but I needed someone to know the truth, and I chose you because if I lost you, I'd have nothing left. Jimin's voice was low, tense, almost trembling with the weight of emotion. You think you're the only one carrying pain? I've been living with the consequences of your choices, watching everything teeter on the edge while you pretended to be invincible. And now you drop this revelation on me like it's some kind of confession? It is a confession, Jungkook said firmly. Not just to you, but to everyone who's ever believed in me. The truth, it's bigger than both of us, and I can't protect it anymore. Jimin's face twisted, caught between fury and despair. You have no idea what you've unleashed. I do, Jungkook said quietly, a dangerous calm settling over his voice. And I'm ready to face it. Whatever comes, I won't run. Not this time. I will not hide from it. Not from the fans, not from anyone. The truth will hit, and people will hate me, love me, or break because of it, but it will be out. Jimin's hands shook slightly, caught between rage and the unbearable weight of understanding. And you just expect me to? What? Stand by while the world explodes? I don't expect anything, Jungkook said evenly. I only ask that you try to understand. That's all I've ever wanted from anyone. Jimin's chest tightened, the room electric with tension. You've never asked for understanding before. You've always acted like the world is your responsibility alone. And it has been, Jungkook admitted, voice low but steady. Because if I falter, everyone else falls. I've carried this burden so they don't have to. So you don't have to. And now, we both know the truth, and nothing will ever be the same again. Jimin let out a long, slow breath, the storm of emotion still raging within him. So this is it, huh? The moment we both have to face the consequences. The moment everything you've hidden comes crashing down. Yes, Jungkook said, tone quiet but resolute. And no matter what happens, I'm not afraid anymore. Because hiding it never worked. And protecting them at the cost of everything else, it's over. The room held its breath, suspended between chaos and revelation. Every word, every pause, every confession carried the weight of betrayal, loyalty, and an unspoken promise that the coming storm would change everything. Fans watching online were screaming into their devices, clips of the confrontation going viral within minutes. Arguments erupted, theories flew, and the world outside that room began to fracture under the weight of Jungkook's words. "This isn't just a fight between us anymore," Jimin said, voice steady now, though the tension in his chest had shifted into something darker. "This is the beginning of the reckoning. And I don't know if anyone will survive it." Jungkook's gaze hardened. "Then let's face it together. If the world burns because of this, we'll stand through the flames, even if it destroys us." Jimin's lips pressed together, unspoken understanding passing between them. The storm wasn't over. It had only just begun, but for the first time in years, they were on the same side, ready to confront everything. "You think you can just stand there and act like everything is fine?" Jimin's voice cut across the room like a whip. "I'm not acting," Jungkook replied, calm but intense, his words layered with frustration and unspoken truths. "I've been living in the middle of a storm for years, Jimin. I didn't choose this, but I have to survive it." "Survive it?" Jimin's laugh was bitter, sharp. "Do you know how many people are already falling apart because of your so-called survival?" "I do," Jungkook admitted, voice steady but his hands trembling slightly. "And it breaks me every single day. Every decision I've made, every lie I've told, it's all because I thought it was the only way to keep them safe. Even you. You think I care about being safe?" Jimin shot back, eyes flashing with anger. "I care about the truth. I care about knowing who I've been standing next to all this time. And what I see now, it's not the person I thought I knew." "I'm still me," Jungkook said, voice low, but the intensity beneath it made Jimin flinch. "I never stopped being me. I just had to do things you wouldn't understand. Things no one would understand." "You don't get to decide that," Jimin snapped. "You can't just decide what's okay for the rest of us. You don't get to manipulate reality while hiding behind your so-called protection." "I never manipulated anyone," Jungkook said sharply. "I made sacrifices. I carried the weight so no one else would have to. That's not manipulation, it's survival. And it's the only truth I could live with." Jimin shook his head, voice trembling with suppressed rage. "Survival at the cost of everyone else's trust? At the cost of our friendship? At the cost of everything?" "I didn't have a choice." Jungkook's voice rose, echoing with raw emotion. "Do you think I wanted this? Do you think I wanted to hide pieces of my life? Lie to everyone I cared about? Watch them trust me while I crumbled inside?" Jimin's chest tightened. "Then why not let me in? Why not let anyone in?" "Because if I had, everything would have fallen apart faster than I could stop it," Jungkook said quietly, each word heavy with regret. "You have no idea what it's like to hold the world on your shoulders and know that one wrong move will destroy everyone you love." Jimin's voice dropped, almost a whisper, but sharp with emotion. "You weren't supposed to do this alone. You weren't supposed to hide it from everyone, especially me. Do you know how that feels, Jungkook? To realize the person you trusted the most has been carrying secrets that could have broken everything?" "I know," Jungkook admitted, looking away for the first time. "And I regret it every day. But I can't change the past. I can only face the consequences now, no matter how much they hurt, no matter how much I might lose." "And what about the fans?" Jimin asked, voice tense. "They're watching everything, every word, every move. They're waiting to tear you apart or elevate you to godhood. Did you ever think about how your secrets would destroy them too?" "I did," Jungkook said softly, almost painfully. "I thought about it every single day, and I still thought it was worth it. Because if the truth came out gradually, I could control the fallout. But if it exploded all at once, well, we're seeing that now." Jimin took a deep breath, trying to process the weight of Jungkook's confession. "So, all of this, it's been building for years? And you just held it in?" "Yes," Jungkook said, voice quiet but unwavering. "Every lie, every omission, every secret, it's been a calculated choice to protect everyone. Even if it meant I became the villain in the story no one would understand." "And now?" Jimin asked, voice low, almost fragile. "Now that it's all out?" "Now," Jungkook said, stepping closer. "We face it. Together, or we fall apart trying. I'm done hiding. I'm done running. If the world wants to tear me down, let them. But I'm not hiding from the truth anymore. Not from you. Not from anyone." Jimin's laugh was hollow, almost disbelieving. "You think it's that simple? You think just saying the truth fixes everything?" I don't know if it fixes anything, Jungkook admitted, but it's the only way forward. Anything else is just prolonging the inevitable. We can't control what people think, what they feel, what they'll do. We can only control what we choose to face. And you're ready to face it? Jimin asked, voice barely audible, almost afraid to hope. I have to be, Jungkook said firmly. Because if I'm not, everything I've sacrificed will mean nothing, and I can't live with that regret. Not again. Jimin's fists clenched at his sides, the storm of emotions swirling inside him. Anger, fear, understanding, admiration, creating a tension almost unbearable. You've carried this burden alone for so long, he whispered. And now I see why. I see why you did it, but that doesn't make it hurt any less. I know, Jungkook said quietly. And I can't make it hurt less. I can only make it right from here on out. One choice at a time. One truth at a time. The room was charged with an intensity neither could deny. Fans across the world were watching, analyzing, debating, and speculating. Every word exchanged between Jimin and Jungkook was being dissected. Every revelation igniting a firestorm online. This isn't just about us anymore, Jimin said, voice low but fierce. It's about everyone who's invested in us, who's believed in us. You can't just drop a bomb like this and expect people to understand, Jungkook. I know, Jungkook said softly, but I had to. I couldn't hide it forever. And now that it's out, the only thing I can do is face it. Whatever comes next, we face it together, even if it destroys everything else in the process. Jimin's eyes flickered with a mixture of admiration and lingering fury. You're impossible, he muttered. I've been called worse, Jungkook replied, voice calm but layered with emotion. But maybe now, we finally understand each other, and maybe that's enough to survive whatever comes next. A long silence stretched between them, heavy with unspoken words, secrets laid bare, and the undeniable truth that their world had changed forever. The storm outside wasn't over, but for the first time, they weren't facing it alone. You don't understand what you've done, Jimin said, voice strained, almost trembling. Do you even realize how many people are watching this? How many lives you've disrupted with just a few words? I know exactly what I've done, Jungkook replied, eyes sharp and unyielding, and I don't regret it. Not anymore. Every word I've spoken, every secret I've revealed, it's time for the world to know the truth, even if it destroys me in the process. Jimin's jaw tightened. You think truth fixes everything? Do you even hear yourself? Some truths aren't meant to be told, they're meant to be managed carefully, and you just threw it all out the window. I had no choice, Jungkook shouted, stepping closer, his voice charged with a mixture of anger and desperation. If I waited, it would have been worse. I couldn't let it fester any longer. Every day I held it in. I was suffocating under the lies. I needed to speak before it killed me. And the rest of us? Jimin snapped. What about us? We've been dragged into this without warning. How are we supposed to deal with the fallout? You're stronger than you think, Jungkook said firmly, almost pleading. And if anyone can survive this, it's you. But pretending it doesn't exist won't help. You have to face it. We have to face it. Together. Jimin laughed bitterly, the sound sharp and almost broken. Together? You've been carrying this for years, hiding things from everyone. And now you want me to stand beside you while the world tears you apart? Yes, Jungkook said without hesitation. Because if we don't, everything we've built, everything we care about will collapse. I can't stop it alone anymore, Jimin. I can't carry this burden by myself. And I won't. Do you even understand what it means to expose everything? Jimin asked, voice low and dangerous. We're not just talking about mistakes or misunderstandings. We're talking about secrets that could ruin lives, destroy trust, and break people you've claimed to protect. And you decided it was time to tell? I didn't decide. Jungkook replied, tone calm but fierce. It's already out. The moment I spoke to the camera, it set off a chain reaction. The world is watching, and there's no turning back. The only choice I have left is how I face it. Jimin's fists clenched, the tension in the room unbearable. And you expect me to stand here, to watch everything crumble, and tell myself it's all okay? How is that fair to anyone? I'm not asking it to be fair, Jungkook said quietly, almost bitterly. I'm asking you to understand, to see why I did what I did. And maybe just maybe, to forgive me, if that's even possible. Jimin's voice dropped to a whisper, heavy with emotion. Forgive you? After everything? You've been living a lie for years, Jungkook. You've been manipulating situations, hiding truths, protecting people by becoming the villain. How could I possibly forgive that? Because it wasn't meant to hurt anyone, Jungkook said, his voice firm but layered with vulnerability. Every choice I made, every secret I kept, it was all to protect. Not just you, not just the others, but everyone who believed in me, even if it meant I had to carry the blame alone. Jimin's chest tightened, a mix of anger, disbelief, and reluctant admiration swirling inside him. You've been carrying all of this alone? All this time? Yes, Jungkook said simply. And now that it's out, there's no going back. The world will judge, fans will speculate, and some will hate me. But I've accepted that, because the alternative, keeping it hidden, would have destroyed everything anyway. And the people who trusted you? Jimin asked, voice sharp. Do you think they'll understand? Do you think they'll forgive the lies, the manipulation, the secrecy? I don't know, Jungkook admitted, tone low but unwavering. But I have to try. And I have to be honest with them, no matter what it costs me. I can't live a lie any longer. Not for me, not for anyone. Jimin's laugh was bitter, shaking slightly with disbelief. You really are impossible, you know that? You carry the world on your shoulders, destroy trust to protect it, and then expect people to understand when it all comes crashing down. I don't expect them to understand, Jungkook said firmly. I only expect honesty. The truth is out, and it will hurt, but hiding it won't make it better. Facing it together is the only way forward. And if it destroys everything? Jimin asked quietly, almost afraid to hear the answer. Then we rebuild, Jungkook replied, voice steady, conviction burning through every word. We face the consequences, accept the fallout, and move forward. Together. Or we fall apart trying. Either way, we no longer run from it. The room was charged, every word, every pause, every glance carrying the weight of years of secrets, betrayal, and loyalty. Outside, the world reacted in real-time, fans screaming, speculating, arguing, and dissecting every movement, every word, every confession. You think this ends with just words? Jimin asked, voice sharp, almost bitter. Do you think the world will stop at your confession? I know it won't, Jungkook said quietly. But it's the start, the only start we have. And if we can survive this together, maybe, just maybe, there's a chance to come out the other side intact. Jimin's chest tightened, his mind racing, heart pounding with conflicting emotions. You've dragged me into this storm, Jungkook, and I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if anyone is. You'll never be ready for the world, Jungkook said calmly. But you can be ready for yourself, for the choices you make, for standing by the truth, even if it hurts, even if it burns. That's all I can ask. Jimin exhaled slowly, the tension inside him not easing, but shifting acceptance, understanding, reluctant trust, and the undeniable pull of loyalty. Then we face it, he whispered, all of it. No more hiding, no more running. Whatever comes, we face it. And if it destroys us? Jungkook asked softly, voice barely audible, but layered with conviction. Then we burn together, Jimin said, voice steady, fierce, unyielding. But at least we'll face it honestly. No lies, no secrets, nothing hidden in the dark. For the first time in years, silence fell between them, heavy but charged. Every secret laid bare, every confession spoken, every emotion exposed. The storm outside raged on, the world watching, reacting, and speculating. But inside that room, a fragile alliance had formed, one that could survive the chaos or be consumed by it. The battle wasn't over. The truth wasn't complete. But for the first time, they were no longer enemies, no longer divided. They were together, ready to face whatever fire the world had in store. You think you can just walk in here and act like nothing happened? Jimin's voice cut through the tension like a blade. Every word carried fury, disbelief, and a lingering pain he couldn't suppress. I didn't come to act, Jungkook said firmly, stepping forward, his own voice steady but layered with years of buried emotion. I came because it's time. Time to end the lies, the hiding, the pretending. Time to face everything, once and for all. Jimin's fists clenched, trembling with a mix of rage and reluctant fear. Face everything. You've already dragged everyone into chaos, Jungkook. Fans are screaming, rumors are flying, and trust is shattered. How is this facing anything? This is destroying everything. I know exactly what it's doing, Jungkook said, eyes unwavering, voice strong. And I accept it. Every consequence, every reaction, every hate-filled comment, I'm ready. I've carried the weight of secrets for years. Now, the world gets to carry the weight of the truth, too. Truth? Jimin laughed bitterly, almost broken. You call hiding lies and manipulating perception for years the truth? It wasn't manipulation, Jungkook said firmly. It was protection. I've sacrificed myself, so no one else would have to. Every decision, every secret, every burden, it was all meant to keep the people I care about safe. Even you. Jimin's voice shook, caught between fury and disbelief. Safe? Safe from what? From learning the real you? Or safe from the consequences of your own choices? Both, Jungkook admitted quietly, his words almost pleading. And I don't expect anyone to understand fully. But I had to do it. Because if I didn't, everything would have fallen apart. You know that. You felt it. You've seen it. And now? Jimin's voice was low, dangerous, and trembling with raw emotion. Now that the truth is out, now we survive it, Jungkook said firmly. Together, or we fall apart trying. But we no longer hide. We no longer run. Jimin shook his head, a bitter laugh escaping him. You make it sound so simple, as if honesty can fix the years of pain, the broken trust, the chaos you've unleashed. It can't fix everything, Jungkook admitted, but it's the only chance we have. Pretending, hiding, lying, it doesn't work anymore. It's all exposed now, and we either face it, or we lose everything forever. Jimin's eyes narrowed, heart pounding with anger, fear, and an unwilling admiration. You've carried all of this alone. All these secrets, all these decisions, all this weight. And now you want me to stand by and trust you completely? Yes, Jungkook said simply. Because the alternative is worse. Because without facing it together, there's no way forward. I can't carry it alone anymore. And I won't. Jimin's laughter was hollow, sharp, almost trembling. You're impossible, you know that? You take the entire world on your shoulders and then expect people to forgive you when it all blows up. I don't expect forgiveness, Jungkook said quietly. I only ask for understanding. And even that is optional. The truth is out. The world will respond as it will. Fans will speculate. They'll fight. They'll choose sides. I can't control that. I can only control how I face it. And what about the people who trusted you? Jimin asked, voice low, almost broken. Do you think they'll forgive the lies, the secrets, the manipulation? I don't know, Jungkook admitted, tone calm but determined. Some will, some won't. Some will hate me forever. But I have to speak my truth, no matter the cost. No matter what it does to me, to them, to everything I've built. Hiding it doesn't work. Protecting them by staying silent doesn't work. The only path forward is honesty, even if it burns us alive. Jimin's chest tightened. And if the world rejects you, then we face it, Jungkook said simply. We survive it together, or we burn trying. But I won't hide. Not from the truth. Not from you. Not from anyone. The tension in the room was electric. Every pause, every word, every glance, charged with emotion. Fans across the globe were glued to every word, dissecting, analyzing, speculating, and fighting over what they had just witnessed. Every confession, every accusation, every revelation was feeding a firestorm that would not die. You think this ends with your confession? Jimin asked, voice sharp, almost bitter. Do you really believe that saying the truth once fixes all the damage? No, Jungkook admitted quietly. It doesn't, but it's the only start we have, and I have to face it no matter what comes next. I can't run anymore, and I won't. Jimin's voice softened, though his chest still tightened, with unresolved anger and fear. Then we face it, together. No lies, no hiding. Whatever comes, we face it. And if it destroys us? Jungkook asked softly, almost vulnerable. Then we burn together, Jimin said firmly, fierce, unyielding. But at least we'll face it honestly. No secrets, no deception, no shadows between us. A heavy silence fell over the room, charged with emotion and the weight of years of buried secrets. The world outside continued its chaos, but inside that space, a fragile unity had formed. They would face whatever came: scandal, fan uproar, betrayal, or heartbreak together. And for the first time, neither of them was running, neither of them was hiding, and neither would falter under the weight of truth. The storm had begun, but in the eye of it, they stood side by side. Whatever fire the world unleashed, they were ready. And even if it burned everything else away, they had each other. You think the world will just forgive you because you said a few words on camera? Jimin's voice trembled with a mix of anger and disbelief, each syllable heavy with the weight of betrayal. I don't care if they forgive me, Jungkook said, tone sharp but steady. I care that the truth is out. For too long, I've carried secrets that weren't just mine. And pretending it didn't exist has destroyed more than I can hold alone. Jimin's laugh was bitter, almost broken. Destroyed? Do you know what people are saying about you right now? The fans, the media, everyone. Your reputation is in pieces. And you think standing here and justifying your choices makes it okay? I never said it was okay, Jungkook said firmly, stepping closer. I only said it was necessary. Every secret, every lie, every omission, it was to protect them, to protect you. I didn't want to hurt anyone, but the alternative was worse. And now? Jimin demanded, voice rising. Now it's out, and everyone's reacting. Everyone's judging. How do you expect anyone to survive the chaos you've unleashed? We survive it because we have to, Jungkook replied. There's no turning back. Pretending nothing happened doesn't work anymore. We face it. We take responsibility. That's the only way forward. Jimin's chest tightened, anger and disbelief battling with reluctant understanding. You've carried this weight alone for years, and now you want the rest of us to stand by and accept it? Just like that? Yes, Jungkook said quietly. Because the alternative, pretending it's not real, is worse. You know it. Deep down, you know that hiding it has only made it worse. Jimin shook his head, voice low but fierce. You've been manipulating reality, hiding truths, and calling it protection. How do you even live with that? I don't sleep at night, Jungkook admitted, voice raw with honesty. Every day, I think about what I've done, what I've hidden, and whether it was worth it. And every day, I tell myself it was. Because if I didn't, everyone we care about would have suffered more than they already have. And you think saying all this fixes anything? Jimin asked, voice bitter. Do you even hear yourself? No, Jungkook said calmly. It doesn't fix anything, but it's the only way to move forward. Hiding, lying, running, it doesn't work anymore. The truth is out, and we face it, whether the world loves us or hates us. Jimin's fists clenched, torn between fury and a reluctant understanding. You've dragged me into this storm, Jungkook, and I don't know if I'm ready to face the aftermath. I don't know if anyone is. You'll never be ready, Jungkook said firmly. But you can be honest. You can choose to stand in the truth, even when it hurts. That's the only thing that matters now. And if it destroys us? Jimin asked quietly, almost afraid of the answer. Then we survive it together, Jungkook said simply. Even if it burns everything else away, we face it as one. No lies, no secrets, nothing hidden. That's the only way we come out alive. Jimin exhaled slowly, tension still thick in his chest, but a spark of determination ignited. So this is it. The reckoning. The moment where everything comes crashing down, and we have to either stand together or fall apart. Yes, Jungkook said, voice low, unwavering. And no matter what happens, I'm done hiding. I'm done running. Whatever fire comes at us, we face it, side by side. The room fell silent, the air heavy with the weight of years of buried secrets, betrayal, and loyalty. Outside, the world was erupting, fans speculating, arguing, and dissecting every word and move. Their reactions building an unstoppable storm. You know what's coming, right? Jimin said quietly. The backlash, the scrutiny, the relentless judgment. People are already taking sides. Some will hate us, some will worship us. And in the middle of it all, we have to survive ourselves. I know, Jungkook replied softly, but surviving is all that matters now. The rest is chaos we can't control. We only control how we face it, how we face each other, and how we refuse to let it break us completely. Jimin's voice softened slightly, though tension still lingered. You've carried this burden for so long, and now I see why. I see why you hid it. But that doesn't make it hurt any less. I know, Jungkook said quietly. And I can't make it hurt less. I can only make it right from here on out. One choice at a time. One truth at a time. The storm outside raged on. But inside, a fragile understanding had formed. Every secret exposed. Every confession spoken. Every emotion laid bare. The world may crumble around them. Fans may scream and fight over the revelations. But inside that room, they had each other. And if the world turns against us completely? Jimin asked, voice barely audible. Then we stand, Jungkook said firmly. We face it all. Whatever comes, we face it together. And if it burns everything else away, at least we won't be alone. The tension remained, thick and unyielding. But for the first time, a sense of clarity emerged. The reckoning had begun, and there was no turning back. Secrets were exposed, lies were shattered, and the truth burned brighter than ever. And as the storm outside reached a fever pitch, inside, they prepared to face it unflinching, unbroken, and together. You really think this ends here? Jimin's voice was sharp, trembling with anger, disbelief, and a trace of fear. Do you have any idea how deep this goes? How many people are going to be hurt because of what you just said? I know exactly what I've done, Jungkook replied, calm but charged with conviction. And I don't care anymore. For years, I carried secrets that weren't mine alone. I had to protect everyone, even if it meant becoming the villain. But now, it's time to face it all. No hiding, no running. You think facing it is enough? Jimin's laugh was bitter. The fans, the media, the world, they're already tearing you apart. They've taken sides. And you think standing here confessing makes it okay? It doesn't make it okay, Jungkook said, stepping closer, his voice firm. It's not about being okay. It's about being honest. I've carried this burden for too long. Pretending it didn't exist has destroyed more than I can hold. Now, at least, the world sees it. The truth is out, and we deal with it. Together, or we fall apart. And if it destroys us? Jimin asked quietly, almost afraid of the answer. Then we survive it, Jungkook said simply. Even if it burns everything else away, we face it. No lies, no secrets, nothing hidden. That's the only way forward. Jimin's chest tightened, heart racing, emotions colliding, anger, fear, disbelief, and a reluctant admiration. You've been hiding this for years. All the lies, all the manipulation, and now you expect me to just accept it? Just like that? Yes, Jungkook said quietly, because the alternative is worse. Pretending it's not real, hiding it, running from it, nothing works anymore. The truth is out. It's time we face it, no matter what comes next. Jimin shook his head. You've manipulated reality, hid truths, and sacrificed your own morality to protect us. How can anyone forgive that? I don't expect forgiveness, Jungkook admitted. I only expect honesty, and maybe understanding. Some will forgive, some won't. Some will hate me forever. I can't control that. I can only control how I face it, and how we face it together. And what about the people who trusted you? Jimin asked, voice low. Do you think they'll forgive the years of lies, the secrets, the manipulation? I don't know, Jungkook admitted, voice calm but firm. Some will, some won't. Some will hate me, but I can't hide anymore. I can't run. The truth is out, and it will hurt. But facing it is the only chance we have to survive it. Jimin's fists clenched, tension and disbelief swirling. You've dragged me into this storm, Jungkook, and I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if anyone is ready. You'll never be ready, Jungkook said firmly. But you can be honest. You can choose to stand in the truth, even when it hurts. That's the only thing that matters now. The room was charged with electric tension. Every word, every pause, every glance carried the weight of years of secrets, betrayal, and loyalty. Outside, the world was watching, reacting, and speculating. Every confession, every accusation, every revelation sent ripples across social media, igniting chaos and controversy. And if the world rejects us? Jimin asked, voice barely audible, filled with a mix of fear and resolve. Then we stand, Jungkook said simply. We face it all. Whatever comes, we face it together. And even if it burns everything else away, We won't be alone." Jimin's voice softened, though tension remained. "You've carried this burden for so long, and now I see why. I see why you hid it, but that doesn't make it hurt any less." "I know," Jungkook said quietly, "and I can't make it hurt less. I can only try to make it right from here on out. One choice at a time. One truth at a time." The storm outside raged on, but inside, a fragile understanding had begun to form. Every secret laid bare, every confession spoken, every emotion exposed. The world could crumble. Fans could scream and fight over the revelations. But inside that room, they had each other. "This is it," Jimin whispered. "The moment where everything comes crashing down, and we either stand together or fall apart." "Yes," Jungkook said firmly. "And no matter what, I'm done hiding. I'm done running. Whatever fire comes at us, we face it side by side." The silence between them was heavy, but it wasn't empty. It was filled with the weight of truth, the promise of loyalty, and the unwavering determination to survive. Secrets had been exposed, lies shattered, and the world would never be the same. But for the first time, they weren't running from it. They weren't hiding. They were ready. Fans would scream, speculate, argue, and fight over what had just happened. Media would dissect every word, every movement, every confession. But inside that room, Jungkook and Jimin stood together, facing the storm as one. Whatever chaos came next, they were prepared to survive it. "And if it destroys us completely?" Jimin asked softly, almost afraid to hear the answer. "Then we burn together," Jungkook said, voice steady, fierce, unyielding. "But at least we'll face it honestly. No secrets, no shadows, nothing hidden. Together." A long silence fell, charged with the weight of years of secrets, betrayal, and loyalty. The storm outside reached a fever pitch, but inside, clarity emerged. The reckoning had begun. The world may crumble around them. Fans may scream and fight over the revelations. But inside that room, they had each other. And for the first time, they were ready to face it all. "You can't possibly think this is over." Jimin's voice cut through the silence, every word trembling with anger and disbelief. "Do you know how many people are waiting to tear you apart? How many fans are analyzing every second of your confession? How many lives are going to be affected because of you?" "I know exactly what I've done," Jungkook said, voice steady, unflinching. "And I don't care anymore. For years, I carried secrets that weren't just mine. I protected people in ways they'll never understand. And now, it's time to face everything. No hiding. No running. Nothing left in the shadows." "You think facing it is enough?" Jimin asked, voice rising, almost bitter. "The world's already erupting. People are taking sides. Fans are screaming. The media is dissecting every word. Do you really think a confession fixes all that?" "It doesn't fix it," Jungkook admitted. "It can't. But it's the only way forward. Pretending it didn't happen. Hiding, running those things have already destroyed more than I can bear. Now the truth is out. We survive it, or we fall apart. But we face it. Together. And what if it destroys everything?" Jimin demanded, fists tightening. "The trust, the fans, the bond we've built, everything we've fought for. Do you even care?" "I care," Jungkook said softly, eyes unwavering. "More than anything. But hiding isn't care, it's cowardice. I can't protect anyone by lying anymore. The world will react, the fans will judge, but at least it will be real. At least we face it honestly." "You've carried all this alone for so long," Jimin said, voice low, almost shaking. "All these secrets, these manipulations, all these choices, and now you expect me to just stand by and accept it? Just like that?" "Yes," Jungkook said simply, "because the alternative is worse. Pretending it's not real, hiding it, lying it, doesn't work. The truth is out, and we deal with it, together, or we fall apart." Jimin's laugh was hollow, sharp, almost broken. "You make it sound so simple. As if honesty can undo the years of pain, the shattered trust, the chaos you've unleashed." "It can't undo everything," Jungkook admitted, "but it's the only chance we have to rebuild. Hiding it only worsens the damage. I've seen it happen. I've felt it. Now, it's time to confront it, no matter the cost." "And if the world rejects us?" Jimin asked quietly, a tremor in his voice. Then we stand, Jungkook said firmly. We face it all. Whatever comes, we face it together. And if it burns everything else away, at least we face it honestly. At least we don't run. Jimin exhaled slowly, tension still gripping him, but a spark of reluctant understanding emerging. You've carried this weight for so long, and I finally understand why. But that doesn't make it hurt any less. I know, Jungkook said quietly. I can't make it hurt less. I can only make it right from here on out. One truth at a time, one choice at a time. That's all we can control. Outside, the world erupted. Fans screamed, media dissected, rumors swirled, chaos spread like wildfire. Every confession, every accusation, every revelation sent shockwaves across the globe. But inside that room, a fragile unity began to form. This is the moment, Jimin whispered, voice low but steady. The moment where everything comes crashing down, and we either stand together or we fall apart. Yes, Jungkook said firmly. And no matter what happens, I'm done hiding. I'm done running. Whatever fire comes at us, we face it side by side. Silence fell, heavy and charged, filled with years of secrets, betrayals, loyalty, and unspoken truths. Every word spoken, every pause, every glance carried the weight of the past and the promise of the future. And if it destroys us completely? Jimin asked softly, almost afraid of the answer. Then we burn together, Jungkook said, voice calm but unwavering. But at least we do it honestly. No secrets, no shadows, nothing hidden. Together. The room was quiet, but it wasn't empty. It was alive with the weight of truth, loyalty, and the determination to survive. The storm outside would continue to rage. Fans would scream, debate, and fight over what had just been revealed, but inside, clarity had emerged. For the first time, neither of them ran, neither of them hid, and neither of them would falter under the weight of reality. The truth had been spoken. The world would react, and whatever chaos followed, they would face it, together. You really think they'll understand? Jimin's voice was sharp, slicing through the tension in the room. The fans, the media, everyone they're watching, judging, dissecting every single word, every movement. You're walking into a storm, Jungkook. Do you even realize what that means? I know exactly what it means, Jungkook replied, unwavering. For years, I've been carrying secrets that weren't mine alone. I protected people I cared about, even if it meant becoming the villain in everyone's eyes. But now, the truth is out. No more hiding. No more running. We face it, or we fall apart. And what about the fallout? Jimin's tone was incredulous, teetering between anger and fear. All the fans taking sides, the endless speculation, the scrutiny it's already begun. You think honesty will stop it? No, Jungkook said quietly, his voice steady, layered with conviction. It won't. Nothing can undo what's already been set in motion. But at least we face it honestly. At least we don't run anymore. That's all we can control. You've dragged me into this, Jimin said, tension and disbelief in every word. You've thrown us all into chaos, and now you expect me to just accept it? Just like that? Yes, Jungkook replied firmly. Because the alternative, pretending nothing happened, is worse. Pretending it didn't exist has already destroyed too much. We face it, together, or we fall apart. You've carried this burden for so long, Jimin said, voice low, almost trembling. All the lies, all the manipulation, all the sacrifices. And now, you expect forgiveness? Do you even care about the damage? I do care, Jungkook admitted softly, more than anything. But hiding it isn't care, it's cowardice. I can't protect anyone by lying anymore. The world will react, fans will judge, but at least it will be real. At least we face it honestly. Jimin's fists clenched, torn between fury, fear, and an unwilling admiration. You've manipulated reality, hidden truths, and sacrificed morality to protect us. How can anyone forgive that? I don't expect forgiveness, Jungkook said firmly. I only ask for honesty. Understanding maybe. Some will forgive, some won't. Some will hate me forever. I can't control that. I can only control how I face it, and how we face it together. And what about everyone who trusted you? Jimin asked, voice low, almost broken. Do you really think they'll forgive years of deception and manipulation? I don't know, Jungkook admitted, tone calm but unwavering. Some will, some won't. Some will hate me for life. But I can't hide anymore. I can't run. The truth is out, and it hurts. But facing it is the only way to survive it. The tension between them was palpable. Every pause, every glance, every word carried the weight of years of secrets, betrayal, loyalty, and fear. Outside, the world had erupted into chaos. Fans argued, media dissected, rumors exploded, and the storm of public opinion raged uncontrollably. Every revelation, every confession, every confrontation was feeding the fire. And if the world turns against us completely? Jimin asked quietly, almost afraid to hear the answer. Then we stand, Jungkook said simply. We face it all. Whatever comes, we face it together. And even if it burns everything else away, at least we face it honestly, together. A long, tense silence fell. It was heavy, charged with the weight of truth, loyalty, and the burden of years of hidden decisions. Secrets had been exposed, lies shattered, and the world would never see them the same way again. Jimin's voice softened, though tension still lingered. You've carried this alone for so long. I finally understand why. But that doesn't make it hurt any less. I know, Jungkook said quietly. I can't erase the pain. I can't undo the chaos. I can only choose to act honestly from here on out. One truth at a time. One choice at a time. The storm outside raged, but inside, a fragile understanding formed. Every secret spoken, every confession made, every emotion laid bare. The world could collapse. Fans could scream and fight over what had been revealed. But inside that room, clarity emerged. For the first time, neither of them ran, neither hid, and neither faltered under the weight of reality. This is the reckoning, Jimin whispered, voice trembling. The moment when everything comes crashing down, and we either face it together or fall apart. Yes, Jungkook said firmly. And no matter what, I'm done hiding.